Hello, everybody. Hello. Good mornings, good afternoons, or perhaps good evenings. Hello. Hi, good to see all of you. I'm so happy to see you guys today. Join me for the second tech hour about our ACE3 release. Let's give it a few more moments for everybody to join with us. If you could please confirm in the chat, please, if you can hear me well and if you can see the screen that I'm sharing. Okay, I see thumbs up. Thank you so much. Lovely. Okay, all right. So perhaps a minute still for everybody to join with us. And in a moment, we'll start. Okay, just a second. Let's give everybody time to join with us. Thank you. All right. I think that would be everybody for today. So again, hello. Welcome to our second meeting for our release highlights for A3 release. Again, my name is Dagmara. I'm a Creatio Academy trainer. And today I'd like to walk you through some of the exciting new features introduced in the A3 release. Before we dive in, please note that this is a continuation of last week's session. So if you missed it, part one is available as a recording on our Creatio Academy YouTube. So this one, the previous one, the recording one, focuses on AI agents in more greater detail. Today, I would like to cover the new and improved dashboards, some enhancements to the timeline component, our brand new Outlook add-in, and some key WCAG accessibility improvements, which I'm really excited about. So, apart from that, also improvements to the progress bar and stage history functionality in the beta mode. Right, and also we will mention, we'll cover the pre-configured dashboards in the service product as well. So let me dive in to the first topic, which is our Creatio AI Outlook add-in, which I hope will be of help for you in your daily work. We now have Creatio AI integrated right inside Microsoft Outlook. So the tool most of us probably use daily, whether the web version, desktop version for Windows and Mac as well. And this add-in lets you chat with the AI, identify and cross-check email contacts with customer data, summarize long email threads, check open cases related to those contacts, and even draft reply emails, which can be really, really handy. So you can also schedule meetings directly from Outlook. Now, all that with AI helping you, I believe that will save you time and help you stay organized. This integration respects all your data permissions, so something to keep in mind, and keeps your chat safe so you can come back to them anytime. So the add-in is available now. Let's see. Perhaps I can move from my presentation right to my environment. Give me just 1 second. There it is. Okay, I hope you can see my environment. All right, lovely. Could you please confirm in the chat if you can see, just you can give me a note, just a quick thumbs up so that I will be sure. All right, thank you so much, lovely. Thank you for your feedback. All right, so let's start with the topics of dashboards. First, I'm gonna go to opportunities right here. Right, let's dive in. So, opportunity section, let me start with this one. Let's see. What I would like to mention first is that list page templates are now available out of the box in this release. So here's how it looks. Basically, we now have a list view and a dashboard view toggle. So if you would go to the top right here, you can find these toggles. Here, if I click, I will get my list active. And here, if I click, I'm going to go to the dashboard perspective. So quite handy. Let's see, we're looking at my opportunity dashboard. So this list page template will be available for applications that were already created. And for any new list pages, this will be created by default as well. Now let me show you what a dashboard component is and how we can use it. Let's see. As you can see, we could have more dashboards here in the left top. If I click here, I could include some more depending on my needs. You can select the one that you want to see. We have a sorting from A to Z here to help you navigate around them in case you had a lot there. Also, there is a search functionality here to help you find the one you're looking for. So let me tell you also a little bit about our folders. As you can see in the opportunities section here, I already have some out of the box. I have a couple of folders included here, and once I select a folder, for example this one or that one, as you can see, my dashboards are reacting accordingly, showing me relevant results. To the right side, I will be shown results accordingly to the selected folder. Our dashboard component is linked to the list and each widget also. So again, if I were to go to the top right here, I can see these three dots. Now if I click, let's see, how can I work with my dashboards? I could edit, perhaps copy, maybe delete, or work with access rights. Now if I click on set up access rights, for example, as you can see, this is where we will have the same page that we had in Classic UI for this, where you can share access rights for some specific actions with your colleagues, decide on read, edit, delete permissions. One key difference between Classic UI dashboards and Freedom UI dashboards. In the Classic UI, dashboards and analytics were limited to predefined places, so analytics view in sections and a section called dashboards. In contrast with Freedom UI, dashboards are now available as no-code components, so that means you can place them anywhere you want. There's no restriction to a specific section. For example, maybe if you had a need, you could introduce a new analytics tab for accounts form page, include some analytics there for your convenience. All right. So let us see how to work with this, with these dashboards. Let's see. Let me just click cancel here and back to my dashboards perspective. All right. So again, to the top right, I'm going to click on actions here, the three dots in the top right, and I'm going to click on edit. Like so. Let's give it a moment. All right, and this is going to take us to our Freedom UI dashboard designer. As you can see, the UI and UX are significantly improved compared to the classic UI. I believe the design is cleaner, more intuitive, and I think it's making it much more convenient to work with dashboards now. So we have several enhancements that make this very easier to use, which I find a very user-friendly approach. So let's talk about that. Perhaps component placement. Let me just move this one around. As you can see, it's now easier for me to place them, move them around, place them where I need them to be, so we can position widgets on the canvas easily with precision. Also, maybe you want to work with resizing. So perhaps if you feel like this is taking too much of space, you can make this bigger or perhaps make this element smaller. Again, depending on your design. On the left side, we have this panel here. You'll find your available widgets. Although this is a limited set compared to the standard Freedom UI Designer, it still provides everything needed to create a functional dashboard. See, one great improvement in this release is the use of default sizes. Let's see, so if I, for example, go for a metric here in the left top, I'm going to drag and drop this component onto my canvas, for example, here, like so. Then, again, it can be placed anywhere. And I have automatically applied the default size. No need for manual style or size adjustments. I believe it saves time and effort. Again, if I don't like it, I can still make it smaller, I can make it bigger, move it around my canvas. Additionally, when dragging and dropping a metric component, the associated object, as you can see here, if I go to the right side, I hope you can see this panel clearly. If I click on, for example, chart settings to go to the details of this particular one, I'm going to see that the associated object, in my case, opportunity, will be automatically set. So you don't have to configure it manually. As you can see at the very top, it's already taken care of. So again, I think a very user-friendly approach. We already have the object built in. Then I can work on maybe some filtering, some more details, how it's presenting itself. Maybe I'd like to add some additional wording that depending on my needs in this scenario. So I can also rename here at the top to whatever I would like for this one to be called. Let me save this. Like so. Again, from this side, here on the very top, maybe you would like to change the color to something else. Maybe you would like to change the size here as well. And now, a key feature here is the apply filter by page data block right here. All right, give me just 1 second in my side. 1 moment, please. All right, lovely. So this one also will automatically be added. As you can see, this is already taken care of. So it's automatically added when dragging a metric or other component onto our canvas. So again, it automatically creates a connection between the dashboard page and the individual metric. So by default, every widget that you pull on your dashboard designer in the section will be connected with the filters in the section. If you don't want this filter behavior, simply you can remove this block by clicking here on this X to the right side here, like so. All right, at the top of that, perhaps if I click on the metric, I can also copy it by clicking here, like so, and then I can reposition the metric, work on its details further, maybe change the coloring, maybe change the size and the filters within. I could also change the dashboard's name. So for example, for now it's called Opportunities Analytics. I could change the title for whichever I believe would resonate with me later or my colleagues perhaps. And then I can save my changes, of course, in the left top. Like so. All right, that was quick. So once this is saved, I can go back to my user perspective, and as you can see, automatically everything is refreshed. After changes were saved, I didn't need to refresh the entire tab, so this is quite handy. Also, my new metrics are already visible as well. And also, I can see the updated name of this particular dashboard. Now, to create a new one, if I had the need to, perhaps I can click here and simply click on Add New Dashboard. So you can use this one, the new dashboard. Once you click on it, like so, I'm going to add just, for example, one metric here, and perhaps save. I'm going to keep things simple. Of course, this could be more creative networks. All right, so the same intuitive designer opens. As you can see, you can drag and drop components as needed. And then again, after saving, it will be available for selection from this perspective. All right, automatically. So now I can move around my dashboards like that. Now let us move to the no-code creator flow, which includes dashboard configuration via the section designer. So how do I go there if I have sufficient permissions to do so? Again, I'm looking at my opportunities section. We're going to stay within this section. Here, I'm going to go to the very top right. As you can see, I have this little cogwheel element here. If I hover over it, it's going to say Edit Page. I'm going to click on that one. Let's give it a moment. All right, lovely. Now, here as well, to the top right, we have the same toggle. I can work with my list perspective and also my dashboard perspective. So this is where I'll find that perspective again to the left side from my library of elements. If I'm looking for my dashboard component, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit here, and that's where it is. I can simply drag and drop it onto my canvas and then continue working on its elements. All right, so let's talk about the key settings that we have here. Perhaps I can make it a bit to the left so that you could clearly see. Maybe I could also zoom in a little bit. I hope this is clearly visible from your perspective. So, at the very top, data source. This is the object that each dashboard will be built upon. In our case, this is opportunity. And then again, apply filter by page data. This links the dashboard component to another component on the page, like our list opportunity here. All right, so again, if you link the dashboard to a list, filtering the list also filters the dashboard. This creates this consistent data filtering across components. Additionally, you can use a pre-configured filter when you want to filter the dashboard directly, for example, by folder, without relying on a list. Let's see. That would be here. If I had a need to do so, I would just click on the plus sign right here. Now what do we have below? So you'll see a section labeled Dashboards, which allows you to create new dashboards or view existing dashboards. As you can see, I have one opportunities analytics here. So let me tell you a little bit about our two types of dashboards that we need to understand the difference. First, perhaps so that would be easier for us, let me show you my presentation one more time while I talk about these differences. Let's give a presentation a moment. All right, there it is, lovely. Okay, so again, two types of dashboards to understand. First, we have the user dashboard, the runtime dashboard. So this one is created and used by users like for example, sales managers, support staff, and so on. And it only exists in the environment where they were created, and they cannot be included in packages. Whereas the second type, that would be the ones, the configuration dashboards from the design time. So created by no-code developers as part of applications. They can be included in packages and transferred between environments. And they are saved as a regular schema and visible in the package. All right, so something to keep in mind. Let us go back to the environment right here. Okay, lovely. So back to our opportunities list page. We're looking at our dashboard perspective, and back here to the top right, dashboards. And here I have opportunities analytics. All right, let's open that one. Let's give it a moment. Lovely. Let's see. I wanted to show you what's under the advanced settings of this one. So here to the right side, I would like to see this panel with page settings. And below I have my advanced. Let's take a look what's here. As you can see, our dashboard is included in a package. This allows the configuration dashboard to be installed in other environments, unlike end-user dashboards. So something to also keep in mind. Let's see. I'm going to show you within the application hub, I have one custom application with one section where I have my dashboards there. So let me just quickly maneuver to application hub right here. Let's give it a moment. Lovely. As you can see, I have quite a number of applications. Here's a custom one. And now again, looking at our application, the custom application that I've created for this meeting from the Applications Hub perspective. Now, from the left side, we have this panel where, for example, I can take a look at pages. To find that dashboard is a typical schema. I can see my one dashboard and some second dashboard that I have created for this scenario. Also, from the left side, from this panel, I can go to package settings. All right, and here is my package that is open for me for modification. Okay, take a look. Let's give it a moment to load. All right, now let's see. Here they are, my dashboards. I hope this is visible from your perspective. So an important point, when a configuration dashboard is created, default access rights are automatically applied. So all employees are granted read access. Perhaps, as you can see, I can take a look here as well. So these access rights are set only once during the initial installation. For future installation, these bindings will not be applied. So, to summarize, we've covered two main flows. The end-user flow, so runtime usage by maybe sales support, for example. We have quick and easy dashboard creation. And these dashboards exist only within the frames of the environment. And then the no-code developer flow. So we have design time creation of dashboards. Our dashboards become part of the application package, and they can be transferred between environments like any other scheme. So this dual approach significantly, I hope, improves the user experience and makes dashboard transfer between environments far easier. Of course, we have more detailed documentation that will be available soon on the Academy site, especially the differences between these two types dashboards, just so to make sure that you can maneuver around these new features and changes easily. Okay, before I move on to our dashboards in the service project, I would love to hear from you. I have one poll for you. If you could just let me know in the poll, what do you think of our dashboards improvements? Let's give the poll a moment. All right, there it is. I think it should be already available on your site. Let me know. What do you think is the most exciting part of these updates? I would love to hear your feedback. All right, so now I would like to briefly present the pre-configured dashboards available in the service product. So for this, I'm going to move to cases section. So from the left top, I'm going to switch to service. Let's take a look. Cases right here. Let's give it a moment to load. Perfect. So for cases, we've added ready-to-use analytics for both the cases and chat sections. So when you navigate to the dashboard view, you'll see a new, as you can see, we have service performance overview and agent performance overview. So let's take a look at this one, for example. Service performance overview. So this dashboard displays key metrics and charts, and it's offering you insights into the overall service performance and customer support delivery. So you'll find analytics here, such as average resolution time, overdue and reopened cases, maybe cases by service categories, planned versus resolved cases, customer satisfaction metrics, and we can go lower a bit, cases distribution by support line assignees, and so on. Additionally, if I were to go back at the very top, I can switch from this one to the agent performance overview. All right, and here for this one, let's see. It's designed to give support agents visibility into their personal KPIs. So we are enabling self-monitoring, which I think could be of great help daily. So again, this one includes some case statuses, priorities, case channels, overdue and resolved case counts, some customer satisfaction, as well, dynamics of satisfaction over time, and as well a breakdown of channels through which cases were received. So, importantly, this dashboard is user-specific. So it is filtered to show data relevant to the current agent. All right, let us move to the chats section. I'm gonna just go to the search here at the top and go for chats. Let's give it a moment. Lovely. So as you can see, from the left top, we have a chat service monitor dashboard configured for us. So this one offers general metrics about chat interactions such as average first response time, chat duration, chat by statuses, chat by agents, which could be of great help, registration dynamics, processed and missed chats by days. Let me just move down, and also source and channel insight. So again, I believe that our dashboards will be immediately useful. You can also customize or extend them accordingly to your business needs and your use cases. Okay, let us move on to the next topic. Let's see. Let's talk about some new no-code components. Perhaps we're going to switch to the account section. All right. And let's open a new account. For example, this one. And give it a moment. Lovely. All right. So I'm excited to introduce several new features and improvements in the timeline component. So as you can see, I already have it opened. So let's start with a really highly requested feature, the ability to edit custom quick filters in the timeline. So previously, as you can see at the very top, we have a couple. Users had access to predefined filters, such as filtering by date, owner, or maybe record type. We've received many requests for additional filtering capabilities, such as filtering activities by status. For example, completed or not completed, maybe call direction or activity category. So starting with version 8.3, this is now supported for no-code creative. So you can now configure these filters directly in the Freedom UI Designer. So let's see. We're gonna go to the top right and click on the cogwheel again, right here. Let's give it a moment. And we're gonna work with our timeline component as it loads for us. Okay, here it is. Lovely. Now, when working with a page, like an account page containing a timeline component, let's go here. Here it is. Let's see. We have the settings to the right side, of course, in our panel. Perhaps I can give it some more room and close feed because it's in the way. All right, our timeline settings. Now, there's a droppable zone in the designer available here. As you can see, I can see its outline right here. So this is where you can drag and drop a quick filter from the left panel if you have a need for some additional filter. So perhaps I'm gonna do that now. Let's test this. Below from components, I have a quick filter. I'm going to drag and drop it and place it right here, like so. Once placed, you can configure it in the right panel, right here. So perhaps we can choose a filter type, of course. We have 3: custom, date, time, and lookup. Let's perhaps go for a lookup, like so. Now, let's choose the component to filter. I will go for timeline activity tile, as let's say in my scenario, I wish to filter activity records in timeline. Let's see. Activity. Here it is, timeline activity. And now for the column, I also need, for example, my status column, because I want to filter activities by their status. So as you can see, I have quite a lot. I'm gonna just start typing status. Here it is. Lovely. Now, if I have a need, I could add some default value here, and maybe I could also change the title if I wanted to. Maybe I can call this, instead of just status, activity status, just to make sure this is informative enough for my colleagues. Perfect. Also, if you would wish, you could provide with some hints here, just to make sure it's clear for your colleagues what this will help them with. You could change the icon. As you can see, we have quite a selection. and decide that maybe you want this icon to be from the left or to the right from your title, or maybe just presenting itself as the icon, again, depending on your needs. All right, so I think we have a working activity status filter. This is it for this one. Let's practice one more time. For example, I'm going to make a copy of that one by clicking here. Okay, here's my copy. To the right side, I can continue working with this element. Let's see. We can configure filters to apply to multiple types, not just one. For instance, maybe for when I want to filter activities by some specific contact in this account. So again, at the very top, I'm going to go for lookup again. I have timeline activity already here, but I'm going to go by contact this time. Not that contact. Here it is. All right, I would like to include some more details, not just this one timeline activity tile. So here at the top, I can click on the plus sign to add some more. What else could I utilize? Maybe email. Also for contact. What else could we help? Last line here. What could we also utilize? Maybe timeline call. Okay, also for contact, like so. And let's add one more. Perhaps timeline opportunity. There it is, and also for my contact. Okay, that's enough. Let's see. The title, I would change the title definitely because this is no longer relevant. I could call this client, for example, and I will remove the default value. Lovely. Now this one's ready. We have a lot of elements added here. Let us save the progress in the left top. Let's give it a moment. Also, everything would work perfectly fine with different type than the lookup. So date, time, or custom type, you could go for this one here as well. All right, so this is successfully saved. Let us go back to the list view, to the record right here. Perhaps I'm just going to refresh. Let's give it a moment. And let's test our new filters. Okay, I can see them here. At the very top, I have my activity status. I have my client here below. So let's see. Maybe I can first go here and go by activity, like that. And then maybe I want to go by activity status. So perhaps maybe just completed ones. Or maybe I need completed and in progress. Again, depending on what I'm looking for here, like so. What else I wanted to mention about, let's see. We have several runtime features that has also been added. We have a live update for feed and file styles. So, to the right side, for attachments, as you can see, I have this already opened. We have our attachments here. So, attachments or messages added, for example, in toggle container, now appear instantly in the timeline without page refresh. So let me, for example, add some file from this perspective just to check if indeed they're going to appear here on my canvas. Give me just 1 second. Let me add a file. There it is. Let me drag and drop it to the attachments. There it is. So I've just dropped this one here, and I can see already without refreshing, it's to the left side. Okay, then we have editable feed messages in timeline. So they can now be edited directly in the timeline. So we are eliminating the need to switch views or pages here. And maybe I can tag somebody, maybe a colleague, maybe add an attachment here for him as well and send. There it is. Oh goodness, I confused myself there. I apologize. All right. Apart from that, we can work with feeds from that perspective. Maybe I can like, maybe add a comment, or maybe I can click on the 3 dots and edit my message from this perspective as well. Like that. Also, we have a colorized lookup fields, as you can see, for example, for our statuses. All right, so status fields with color coding. So, for example, in activities, now appear in timeline just as they do on standard pages or lists. All right. Also, something to keep in mind, we now support the display of multi-line plain text in the timeline. So now these texts display properly with line breaks. Not only for rich text, but multi-line plain text also works as well. All right, now to the next topic. Let me move back to my presentation real quick. Let's give it 1 second to load. I wanted to tell you about multiple page data sources. Give me please 1 moment. There it is. All right, lovely. Okay, so let's start again with multiple page data sources. These were introduced in version 8.2.3 as a beta feature. So I'm happy to share that support is now officially live. So thanks to your feedback, we've improved the UI and the UX, making it much more intuitive. So the key enhancements, we've added support for many to-one relationships. You can now use lookup columns from the primary data source to reference related objects and edit their fields directly. We've also introduced independent data sources. So we can now add fields that will load the same data every time from the database, regardless of the primary data source record. All right, let me tell you about the next one. So this is in regards to refresh data action improvements. So another big improvement, you can now use a single button to refresh multiple data sources on a page. So by default, it refreshes all data sources, even those added after setup. You can exclude specific ones, like, for example, page parameters, or configure it to refresh only selected sources. So again, existing refresh actions remain unchanged for compatibility. So only the UI is updated and you can adjust behavior as needed. Let's see. Let us take a look at improvements to our beta testing of progress bar stage history. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Since version 8.2.3 in beta, if you enable the enable history setting, Creatio now correctly tracks and displays the actual previous stage value, even if there were multiple possible options in that stage group. So, however, this data was only stored along with process execution data, which are deleted by default after about 90 days. So now, with version 8.3, still in beta, we've enhanced this feature that now lets you store the stage history for longer or even indefinitely. So you can do this by changing a system setting, setting it to -1, which means the data will be kept forever. So I think this could be especially useful for companies that need long-term traceability of how a case actually moved across stages. All right, and let's talk about our WCAG updates as well. We have many improvements that were made, especially in lists. Additionally, charts on various pages, like sales pages, now have more pronounced colors and better contrast compared to before, which used dimmed colors. So similar contrast updates are planned for other pages that haven't been yet updated, so stay tuned. Let's see. Keyboard focus indicators. They have been improved in components like Structure Explorer and Product Selection. So as you can see on the slide here, we continue enhancing this in 8.3 version. And finally, our notification badges inside panels have been improved. So panels that support notifications, such as approvals, now clearly show badges indicating new activity better than before. So more accessibility improvements will be included in future releases. So we're building on the compliance first achieved in version 8.2.2. All right. Okay, guys. So that would be it that I wanted to share with you today. Of course, more details about our release, details on the beta features, perhaps, the dashboards, more details on WCAG updates. All of these details you can find on our Academy, Creatio Academy website. We have release notes with every release just to help you maneuver around all the new features that we could be introducing. We want to make sure that it's easy for you to maneuver around them and that we let you know properly how they can be of help for you. So that would be it for today. I want to thank you so much for joining with me today. I hope these will be of help for you. If you would have any additional questions, you can maybe reach out to us, to Academy. We'll be happy to advise and to help. So I hope these will be of help for you on your daily journey. Okay, guys. So that would be it from my side for today. Thank you so much for joining, and as per usual, I wish you a lovely rest of your day. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.